So go back to the Itachi pursuit mission from Hot Boys tier list or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can understand having this so high because it's so thematically rich and integral to the plot. It basically connects everything that came before and after, regardless if you want to think of it as the midpoint of the entire series or not. It's like what Sasuke was chasing from the very beginning of the series, and it's technically what
Yeah.
Sasuke is ending with at the very end of the series with Itachi's ideology versus Naruto. That's like the point of that final fight. And so especially like connecting this to the idea that comes right after it, which is finding out everything about Itachi and that big lore dump from Obito. You could say this is the midpoint. So I can understand having this fight be the big like turning point in the series for Hot Boy, and that being such an important quintessential, I love using that word now, thing in the series, so maybe that's why he has it so high. But going with the fight itself, starting the fight off, and here's where we get to the segue, comparing the prelude of this fight, which you've technically already brought up, but the prelude of this fight to Sarada versus Hidari's prelude, there's a
Yeah, I've literally wrote
huge
this whole thing out.
distinction there.
Yeah.
I want to see if you know what it is
Yes.
before I say it. Because you've already pointed it out,
Well,
but you
there's a
didn't say
couple of
why.
there's a couple of things. First of all, the Itachi one is presented in a way that makes Itachi look strong because it's yeah, joke's on you. That was just a genjutsu. I'm over there. And you even have that great music where it's like the heat on theme with the screaming. But anyway, one of the points is it makes Itachi look untouchable. Like Sasuke's grown strong, yet can he actually beat this guy? He just fell for his genjutsu. Then Sasuke does this thing like, I'm not falling for your tricks. Throws the Chidori behind him and whatnot, or he stabs Itachi in the chair. They have a conversation, and that's revealed. Yeah, Itachi's actually in a different chair. Like the point is, it makes Itachi look strong before the fight. Versus this one just makes Sarada look strong. She just straight up beat him in his fur. There wasn't a gotcha. I'm actually not trying, or gotcha. I actually have this ability. Like a different comparison. Beginning of the Boruto fight. At first, Boruto and Walky kind of just beat him up. But it's like, oh, actually, I have this insane healing. So you actually didn't do anything to me. And then boom, you actually just fell for my virus trap. Like, it's a different portrayal.
Yeah. So that was pretty much exactly it. I would have worded it slightly different. In the case that the prelude of the fight ends with Itachi seemingly coming out on top, because yes, it's the thing of like, oh, he stabs him and then the two finger and the fight hasn't actually started, and that shows Itachi's overwhelming force. The fight hasn't even started yet, and he's already getting stuff over on Sasuke, making Sasuke waste blah blah blah. But then you also get this thing where like
Exactly.
Sasuke stabs him in the back and he gets the whole prelude, but then you find out that also was a genjutsu and then you look over. So then it's like even a 1v1, but 1-to-1 in terms of like wins versus losses in terms of the prelude of the fight. But either way, that wasn't really Sasuke's win regardless. And so you go into the fight knowing, oh, this is going to be a good fight because we see they're both strong. But the point is, first you see Itachi strong and he's the antagonistic figure here.
Exactly.
I'm assuming the prelude ends with realizing it's a genjutsu. So, like, hypothetically, Hidari versus, what's her name? Sarada. If it just ended with, like, Hidari turning into a bunch of crows or whatever, and Sarada looks up and he sees the real Hidari, that'd be fine.
Exactly.
If they do that next chapter, it's already too late.
Exactly.
Like, it's going to be better than
It
what
had
it
to be
is, not the
done
worst thing in the
right
world.
then.
Exactly. Because, again, we're going into this thinking Sarada's just stronger, so what's the point of the fight? Because Sarada shouldn't struggle, if that's what we're going to be thinking. Oh, crap, I just
And this is where
Zero.
it's
Son of a
depicted
bitch.
weirdly because on one hand, it looks like Sarda just like dog walked him, but on the other hand, it looks like Hidari's fine. The problem was it wasn't presented as a you hit me but it did nothing thing. It was presented as Hidari going gah, like he was hurt and falling over. But then in the last panel, it's just like he's kind of fine. It's confusing. It wasn't portrayed properly, even if that is what they're going for.